Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, it's 𝗙𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗀. Thank you for coming. For the subscribers, thank you so much. It always means a lot to me. And also, I would like to appreciate everybody that sent in the super chats. It really means a lot to me. It helps the channel grow. And in case you want the channel to grow, yeah, the link's in the bio for anything. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. In today's video, this is a black man from America, or an African American man, who was giving a story of him having an interaction with another African man who was from Ethiopia. And the discourse that they had was about how African American people are so angry, or why are Black American people so angry. So the African guy, or the African man, was asking him, and this is what he had to say. So yeah, guys, watch the clip, come back, and then let's talk about it.
Okay, just want to share this with you. So as I was getting my lunch, an African gentleman walked up to me, said, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "No problem." He says, "I want to understand why Black Americans are so angry. Why you hate this country. This is a great country. I've been here for 6 or 7 years. You guys need to respect and be proud that you're here." I said, "Okay. All right." Now, he asked it in a respectful way. I said, I'm gonna answer your question, sir, but I'm gonna answer your question, black man to black man. He says, "But I'm African." I said, "Okay. I'm still gonna keep this respectful." I says, "You say you've been here for 6 or 7 years." I said, "The reason you are able to come here and do what you're doing, live the life that you're living right now, is because of Black Americans. That's why. Because it was our great-grandfather, great-great-grandmothers who fought for the rights for you to be able to be in this country and do the things that you're doing now." I said, "You walked in this restaurant, you came through the front door, you didn't have to go to the back. The fact they're even serving you is because of what Black American ancestors did." I said, "You say that we seem angry and we seem upset." I said, "Because even though you may not intend it for your comment to be disrespectful," I said, "it does come across as disrespectful." I said, "Because other people come to this country from different places and they don't want to acknowledge that Black Americans are the ones who fought for everything that you're enjoying right now." I don't hate YT people. I don't hate Palm people. I don't hate anybody. It's not worth my energy or my time. But I got love for my fellow Black people. I want to see them succeed. We don't have the resources that other groups do. I say, you coming into this country as an immigrant, you get more benefits and you get more opportunities than we do. We have to work twice as hard. There's more leeway towards you than us. So for us, yes, there is a bit of frustration. Because whenever we fight for something that's based on equality, that's based on rights, even our own culture, everyone jumps in front, takes a piece of it, and leave nothing for us. So yeah, there is some frustration within the Black American community because everybody's taking from us, but nobody's acknowledging us. Nobody wants to give us just credit. I said, "Have you been to school here?" He was like, "I went to school in Africa." I said, "Okay." He from Ethiopia. I said, "You got to understand something." I said, "Our history is not taught to us. We have to excavate our history. They can do a little digging for their history. But our history has been wiped clean. So for us," I said, "even you, the way you're talking now, you don't see us as fellow Black men, because you put a difference between us, that you're African, I'm Black. Cool." I said, "You have to understand that that's what we face every day. That's what we deal with." You can just see when a conversation is just like, he's just not getting it. Just not getting it. But it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think that it's hate. No, it's not hate. We've always just wanted to be accepted as humans, as individuals. That's it. That's it. Okay, so this person says that some black Americans kind of disappoint me how you guys don't want to help Africa out. We can't get people to help us out. So before I get into this, let me say that if you're not a black American, or if you're not black, do not respond to this. If you're a person of color, do not respond to this. This is simply between Africans and black Americans. Everybody will stay out. Because let me say something. Because when it comes to black Americans, everybody benefits off of our voice. Everybody benefits off of our fight. Except who? Us. Everybody benefits off it but us. And then when we do raise our voice, we do open up about our concerns. Black men and black women, black American men and women, are called angry. That's how we're labeled as. We're angry. In the workplace, in the corporate world, when black men and women speak up about something, you're just another angry black man. You're an angry black woman. That's how we're defined. But nobody comes to our aid. Nobody speaks up for us. Many people who come to this country surpass us. They're doing better than us. We're the ones who fought for all these other people, for all the other immigrants that are coming to this country and getting what they want. It's because of black Americans, what they have done, the fights, the things we have went through to make it so you have the rights to do what you do when you get to this country. And this is no disrespect, but I know Africans who have literally told me that they feel like black Americans are ungrateful, or that we're weak or passive. Some don't even claim us. Not all, but some. But nobody comes to black Americans fight. Nobody fights for us. We fight for ourselves, and then other groups, other organizations, or the races get the rewards and benefits of it. And I'll tell you this. You know how now there's a term called they say a person of color, people of color. If you're, Indian or Chinese or any other race with a little bit of melanin in your skin. Well, yeah, we've hired a person of color. Look at this person. The term person and people of color was simply established to push black Americans further down the pole. So that means when we cry or express ourselves because we're hurting or we're feeling injustice, now it's no longer black Americans. They just say, oh, well, you know what? This is all people of color. So now they can hire anybody they want with a little bit of melanin in their skin and say, oh, well, we have a person of color. It was another way to push black Americans further down. That's why I don't go with person or people of color. I get what you're saying. It would be nice if Africans and black Americans were able to work together. If our minds were not so I'm trying to find the right word. But basically, if we had not been deceived by the media and the things that the YT people have put out about Africa to black Americans and about black Americans to Africans, like if we have not seen those false narratives about each other and we were able to work together, we'll all be much stronger. Very much stronger. But the fact is, because those false narratives are still being played and some people have not jumped out of that fantasy world of deception and into the real world of reality. And because we're so far apart in different lands, it's very difficult for us to support each other. I mean, I hear the thing about, black Americans should move to Africa. And I'm sure black Americans would do that, but it's not that easy. Because many black Americans can't afford to pick up their whole house, furniture, kids, and everything, and moved to Africa. Is Africa prepared to receive? Let's say if every black American decided he was going back to Africa, can Africa actually accommodate all of the black Americans moving back there? Can they accommodate it? Do they have the housing? Do they have the medical facilities? Do they have the landscape? It's got the land, but has all the land been developed to accommodate housing and water and food? And it's the same here. You coming here, this country will take care of you. Unlike it doesn't want to take care of us. So it's not that black Americans don't care about what's going on in Africa. It's that the people of Africa are fighting a fight there. We are fighting a fight here. We're still trying to correlate with each other because we're still trying to build our own here. And you guys are trying to build your own there. But the point is, to answer you, to address your question again, it's just that nobody helps about black Americans. Nobody. And the information that we receive about Africa is very limited as far as the news and what goes on all across Africa. And just like here, you don't really get information about black Americans unless it's negative, unless they're trying to paint something negative about us. So they don't show you the true lives of black Americans here in this country.
As you've seen in the video, I listened to him and I could try to understand where he comes from. I've never stepped foot in America. I don't know how it looks like in those countries or in that world of the West. Yeah, but as to give it my perspective as an African person, one thing I would say, and what he was also talking about, is that Africans that leave the African continent and go to, let's say, United States of America, they disregard and they don't appreciate the effort that the ancestors of black American people did for us Africans being able to live in the West. And I have actually had a lot of videos from black American people, men and women. I don't want to generalize, but I see a lot of videos of black American people, men and women, talking about how when Africans go to the West, they kind of act like the white people themselves, or they associate themselves with the white people. And one thing I would say as an African, not to defend the behavior of these Africans that do disrespect the black American people, the way that black American people are presented to Africans, let's say in the media, or how you are seen in terms of, let's say, music, movies, let's say fights and all those things, we see you as not so good people. Our parents, in particular, the things that they see on the media, they take it for real. Those people don't filter anything. The way they see it is the way they believe it. Like the way we see the CNN news, or maybe it's flipped and we don't know what's right and what's wrong. These people believe. We believe. Like I always say, I never understood black American people until the age of the internet. Like all I knew about you was perspective of the TV. And I am a person who tries to learn. I'm a person who tries to, get out of my comfort zone. But majority of them don't. And so when they come probably in those countries of the West, they come with that mentality that, oh, these people are this. I saw them doing this, so they are this kind of people. And that disconnects us from the black American people. And another thing he talked about is of how us Africans have our history told to us, and that black American people have to dig up their history and learn it, or even fight for it to be told. What you don't understand, guys, is like as a Ugandan, we still study today that Europeans came and discovered our resources that we had in our countries. In 2023, kids are still studying those things. We are still, being pressured to speak this language I'm speaking in schools. If you speak your native language in Ugandan schools, you're beaten and cussed and done all these evil things by the teachers. And it's acceptable. It's like a law. You're not supposed to speak your native language in school. So we are still in a colonial system that I wish black American people could still understand, that we have kind of the same problems in terms of how we need to elevate ourselves and grow from the colonization. Also, the other thing I would also put out is I'm not trying to excuse the behavior of the African people or other immigrant kinds of people that come and disregard the fights that Black American people have fought for to have in the West. But they also have a different perspective they've been given of how Black American people are. And that's the reality. Let's not sugarcoat it. Let's say it the way it is. The same way I always say, Black American people see Africans in a certain way and actually refer to Africa as a country and not as a continent. Why? Because in maybe your education, you were taught that Africa is like a small country of people and not a big, huge continent with 54 countries. Like Europe has many states that for us we consider them as countries in Africa. That's the same thing. So we have a long way to go. Also, the other thing I would accept is to put it back in my country. As a Ugandan, there are things that I cannot access, things that I cannot benefit from because I'm Ugandan. But if a Black American person or any other person from the West or another country comes into Uganda, they benefit more. And I don't know, maybe it's a political system that was put up that natives or local people can suffer, and then other people from the different parts of the world can come in and, benefit economically. And that is something that I would understand as a Black American man, him saying, other people come and benefit, but we don't. I think it's the reason that Black American people come from Africa. If you believe it or not, it's up to you. And then the Africa you come from is still in the pre-colonial situation where we are still reliving the colonialism and still fighting it. And we have people in bigger situations or bigger places, let's say politicians or all those things, that don't even do the things that benefit the African continent. They just feed themselves. When he says that they also put up people of color to disregard the Black people, to put the Black people down. If like a company comes up and they put people of colors, as they say, for which I'm assuming Koreans, Chinese, Indians, they still have some bit of Black blood in them, so the company can have an excuse. Oh, I hired people of color, you see, I'm inclusive. But then at the end of the day, still putting Black people down. So I kind of try to understand where he is coming from, and I feel bad that that's the situation that our brothers and sisters pass through in the West. Like, I always come and call you guys to come home because it is your home, yeah. But then actually he's right in a sense of, when Africans go in the West, I'm pretty sure their medical situation is cared of, and when they settle there, they benefit in terms of economy, education, health, all those things. But the problem is when the African American people, Black people, come in the African continent, or let's say in my country, Uganda, the government doesn't really care that much. And that is a problem, because if we need you guys to come back home, there has to be some things that need to be set up. But it doesn't have to come from me. I don't have money. I don't have the power to change anything. It has to come from our African leaders. But the thing that I cannot excuse also is that they personally choose to keep their people in poverty. They personally choose not to put up steps to bring back their own people that were taken in the times of slavery, the descendants. I know African leaders know that when the Black American people or African people in the diaspora come back with the education, with the level of intelligence, they will not be able to do the things that they do to the local people. If it makes sense, because if you guys come, there has to be some rules, some regulations, some kind of order for you to be here. But like, I think they also don't put up those, structures easy for you to come back, because they know you're going to help the local people know what's happening and help brighten us up about the history that we never had. Like I say, kids today are still studying on how Europeans came and discovered resources in my country, Uganda, where natives were living. But then at the end of the day, the currency that you carry is bigger than most African currencies. So I think there is also an advantage, and we just need to have these conversations and talk through them. And to the Africans that don't, respect the people that fought for you to be able to go to the West, You need to stop, guys. Also, for the Black Americans, you need to understand the history that Africans carry, the perspective that Africans carry towards you. Like the man said himself, we have misconceptions by the media that have been put in our faces that we believe them so much and we forget we are one person and we face the same challenges wherever we go. Just understand where the difference comes in. I'm not excusing the bad behaviors, but I just want us to learn about each other from the Caribbean, South America, North America, Black people in the diaspora, in UK, in Asia. We all face the same situations, maybe different circumstances, but we are still facing the same thing. And at the end of the day, we are all at the bottom. It doesn't matter if you are from America, from Africa, from the UK, from Asia, wherever you're from, as long as you are Black or seen as Black, whether you accept it or not, we are still on the bottom and we need to elevate ourselves slowly, but it comes through learning, and that's what I believe in, guys. Let's not, separate ourselves like the guy said, I'm African, you're Black American. Like, that's a division and it doesn't have to be there. It doesn't have to be there. That was it, guys. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.